It's time to sound the alarms. We are not alarmists.
A private investigator and the governor's father are raising concerns about Broken Arrow police and whether they are thoroughly investigating allegations of child abuse. The child in question is part of a high-profile case Fox 23 has covered for years. I talked to both men making the claims and have BAPD's response in my Fox 23 investigation.
You've likely seen this little boy's picture on yard signs, on billboards, and in a documentary Fox 23 has reported on previously. The latest allegations of abuse involving this child are against his now legal guardian, who works for the city of Broken Arrow. They're detailed in a recorded conversation between a whistleblower who works with the boy's guardian and didn't know he was being recorded, and the mother's side of the child's family.
As I listened to this recording, several people I've interviewed that don't know each other, have no way of knowing each other, all said the same thing. Or well, some very similar or the same anecdotes that Clayton would report to them.
Eric Cullen is a private investigator for the mother's side of the family. He describes the abuse detailed in that recorded conversation. I listened to that recording as well.
Being locked in a closet, being fed mustard sandwiches, which, by the way, only people that were very close to the family would know that Clayton hates mustard. Sitting on Clayton and having to spank him with a belt, but understanding where she can get away with legally hitting him without leaving marks.
It's the same type of abuse detailed in a previous Fox 23 report. Similar claims were made by a neighbor whose son is friends with the child. The neighbor was concerned every time the child ran away, something the boy has done multiple times, according to call reports from Broken Arrow police that Cullen requested. Cullen tells me he's working for free for the child's grandparents, Bill and Lisa Woolley. That's the couple who has fought to prove their innocence to get their grandson back after originally being charged with sexually abusing him and his baby brother, allegedly causing the baby's death 6 years ago. All charges were dropped by the Wagner County District Attorney 3 years ago, but DHS and the judge overseeing custody never gave them their grandson back or allowed the child to visit any member of his mom's side of the family.
This is so evil. So evil.
That's Pastor John Stitt, Governor Stitt's father, who's on the Woolley side.
They've done nothing wrong. And even the district attorney, he had filed 22 different charges against the Woolleys, and all of them had to be dismissed because they've done nothing wrong. I'm going to try with every ounce of strength I have to get somebody to rescue him.
He's talking about rescuing this boy from the alleged abuse. In the recording, which we are not playing to protect the whistleblower's identity, the man claims the guardian uses speakerphone while at work, and the guardian directs another relative to abuse the boy, who's now 12, when he misbehaves. That recorded conversation with the allegations of abuse was shared with Broken Arrow police on July 5th, as Cullen, the private investigator, made an official report with BAPD. He was told that afternoon an officer went to check on the boy and found no signs of abuse. On July 11th, Cullen, along with Jerry Dillon, a child behavioral health expert, and John Stitt met with Broken Arrow police to follow up on the report, and they tell me things did not go well. They asked to talk to the police chief, but instead were met by two detectives, who they say were more concerned the whistleblower didn't know he was being recorded than they were about the boy allegedly being abused.
They were visibly upset that we had the recording without the guy knowing about it. And truth is truth. They were letting us know they were very disappointed that we had that recording.
Did you say, but Oklahoma is a single-party state, so
well, yes,
you don't have to actually have the other
yes.
party's permission to record.
Well, that's correct. And me being in the business I'm in, look, and they do it too. You know, sometimes you have to do it. There's and it's not for us to discuss. It's a law.
The men shared with the detectives what they wanted to see happen.
I said, take him out of that home and put him in a safe environment, bring somebody that he trusts, and let a professional come and examine him over a few days and find out the truth. And if he's not being abused, take him back. We're all agreeing with that. But if he is being abused, rescue the boy and let's get him out of that dangerous environment. What's wrong with that?
3 weeks after that conversation with BAPD detectives, the police chief visited Fox 23 for an interview about his upcoming retirement and a new effort to have officers work alongside mental health experts to combat domestic violence in Broken Arrow.
We've got a victims advocate, we've got these mental health professionals embedded with officers, is really trying to spread the word to the public that if you have a neighbor or a family member that's having a hard time, please reach out to somebody, because you never know if something's off. You may spot it and we may never spot it.
After that interview, I asked the chief off camera about the new allegations of abuse toward the child. He told me there was no investigation and the governor's dad had not come by, and if there was a case involving a juvenile, he couldn't comment anyway. Days later, I followed up with their public information officer asking more specific questions. Instead of answering those or agreeing to an interview, BAPD posted this news release on social media, saying in part, law enforcement records involving juveniles are confidential under the law. The safety of children is our top priority, and that they will not succumb to the pressure of these third-party actors.
Until something is done about this, we told them that we're not going away, we're not stopping.
You told police that?
Yes.
The detectives, you're not going away,
Oh,
you're not stopping.
Absolutely.
Now, the private investigator and the governor's dad say they are genuinely concerned about the physical and mental well-being of the child based on his actions and what he shared with people he trusts. Now, they also tell me they've shared their concerns not only with police, but with DHS and anyone who could possibly do something. As you saw, we also did not name the guardian, as that person has not been charged with a crime.